Oh, I hadn't got my mic down, so I need to put that down. Well, hello, and welcome to the next vlog of mine. Basically, I was going to talk. I was thinking about doing maybe two things in this vlog. Talk about two things, but I don't think I'll do that because basically I can do separate ones for them. Before anybody does get onto this, I was basically born in Peterborough, but the whole blog of this is basically about Nottingham. The reason for Nottingham, because I've got a little bit of an affectionate thing about Nottingham. I obviously don't want to live there because Peterborough's my home, but the thing about Nottingham is that I support the team. I support Nottingham Forest. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but I've got one of my Forest shirts on. It's a black one from about a good 10 years ago anyway. But it's a classic shirt from you know, it's got Pinnacle on it. So I do support the team, Nottingham Forest. But yeah, I have a little bit of an affectionate thing about Nottingham. People might well ask me, why do I support Nottingham Forest? Well, it's basically because of my dad. My dad was born in Nottingham, so basically he supports Forest, so I thought I would support Forest. It's all in the family, you know. It's not one of those like I live in a place where I have to go and support somebody who's totally out of place. I mean, it's nice to know that you can live in Nottingham and actually support a team. Although there is Notts County, but I wouldn't go that far because they're not exactly brilliant. I know a lot of people say Forest ain't exactly brilliant, but comparing the two sides is like, you know. And Nottingham Forest was once a big club way back, you know, European Cup champions twice in a row. Oh, that is just too good to be true. And of course, to anybody out there who basically followed football in them years, I think the sickening of European clubs, because basically Forest won it in '79, they won it in 1980, Liverpool won European Cup in 1981, so 3 years on the spin, English clubs winning the European Cup, and I bet all the foreign teams thought, we can't have that, we can't have this every year, an English club dominating Europe. But there you go. And and I do admit I've been to Nottingham a few times, and it is a nice place to go to on the train. They do have pretty much a good shopping area, and so on. They've got record shops, proper record shops, and I know I actually hadn't have thought of any of them until a good friend on here called Laura, basically on Facebook and my picture, and that she basically said she was something about a selected disc, saving selected disc, and it just it went in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, good point. We'd like to rally round and get that saved because record shops are closing left, right, and centre, but hopefully they can keep them open. And I'd like to go to Nottingham and go into a set of Rob Smith's record shop because I've never been into it, and he basically runs a record shop that sells lots of Northern Soul and Motown music and so on, and he DJs in Peterborough when he comes down, so he has his own little record bar selling records. But he's got a record shop in Nottingham, and I don't think that's due to close down anytime soon. I'm sure he has a lot of business, and he's a cool guy. I don't really know anybody famous from Nottingham. I know the most famous one probably Sherwood, you know, Robin Hood, Sherwood Forest, but I don't know if that's connected to Nottingham, but I do believe that is in there. You know, there's the old castle. I've been there years ago. I do know two music bands though from Nottingham. I think there's probably going to be a few more out there when people comment, but I do know that Paper Lace back in the day were from Nottingham. They were famous in the '70s for hits like Billy Don't Be a Hero and so on. And KWS, an old dance band from the early '90s. They actually released many of the great classic. They were actually cover versions, a lot of them, but they were good cover versions of old soul records, but actually recorded in a dance way. You know, rock Your Baby and things like that. And can't remember the other one. Please Don't Go. That was it. They did a few. In fact, talking of people who are connected to Nottingham, or in some ways, is the actual football club. they do actually have famous fans. I mean, somebody got to support them, and we're not exactly like Manchester United. We don't have the really, really big ones that sort of say, oh yeah, I'm a big United fan. No. We have um, golfer Lee Westwood. He's a Nottingham Forest fan. Somebody from the Editors, the band The Editors, is a Nottingham Forest fan. Sue Pollard, yeah, Heidi Hi. Ah, can't believe that. She's a Nottingham Forest fan. And also James Dean Bradfield of the band Manic Street Preachers is also a Nottingham Forest fan, which is absolutely brilliant. And I know there's a snooker player, I think it's Andy Hamilton, also from Nottingham, but I'm not sure if he's into football, I don't know. But there you go. And we do have, it did have good rail links. The only disappointment for Nottingham is it's not actually on the main line from London to Newcastle, so generally you can't go through there, and that, so, but it's got pretty much a good, it's a nice city. It has a fair few shops and so on, so I suppose it's not bad to go there when you're on a day trip and you want somewhere to go and obviously spend the whole day around Nottingham. I would suggest maybe if you're into football, go around to the city ground and take a few photographs and so on, because it's a good ground. It might not be the biggest club in the world now, but certainly still is a good ground, and they attract the fans. So I give my thumbs up to Nottingham Forest. I do hope they stay up this season, and of course Nottingham is a well worth place to visit. And I was actually on a train once coming home from, I think it was holiday, or I can't remember, and basically I overheard a dad and his son, they were on about basically I think they were going to Peterborough or something, and it was on about why do we have to go to this dump, you know, why do we go to Peterborough, because they actually and they were referring to the fact that Nottingham's a better place, and so on, and I just thought to myself, interesting. But that's a different thing. I will be talking about Peterborough another time, hopefully, and that could be interesting. The history of Peterborough. But we just got to or as I'm just trying to do, I'm trying to get through this whole Nottingham thing. My fascination of the city of Nottingham, as I do actually admit to liking it, and it's one of a few cities in England that I do actually like. I've been to, and I do actually have fondness of going to and liking, and that. And I probably like Nottingham more than some. I would say Peterborough, where I live. I'd say Blackpool. I'd say Nottingham, Doncaster. All these places are just great places. I've been to them, and they kind of relate to me. But you know, so and as I said, I'm giving another mention out to Laura because she's from Nottingham. It's in fact probably the only person, one of the only persons I really know in Nottingham. I don't really know anybody from Nottingham. I used to on the internet many a while back, a few years ago, but we don't speak anymore. Basically, and I don't really know anybody from Nottingham. So, Laura, you're privileged to be my only Nottingham friend. But that's got to be cured though. I do believe I might still have family who live in Nottingham, but I can't be too sure. But still, how privileged are you, Laura? Anyway, that's all I've got to say for that one on the subject of Nottingham, and what a place it is, and it's quite a good thing, and that. So keep tuned for my next vlogs, because I've got some various different ones to talk about, including wrestling and so on. So stay tuned.